Hello, Capricorn. Welcome, and thank you for being here. This is going to be a general read we may be dealing with. Of course, everything may not resonate, so take what does and leave the rest. And for more tarot readings after this, please check out my wife's channel and Theyre 3 Tarot Pictures review as well. Thank you. All right, let's see what's going on. Oh, geez. Jeez. Huh. How interesting. How very interesting. Oh, there's the two of you. What do you mean with this? Jeez, Capricorn. Oh my gosh. What do you mean? What do you mean? Okay. What do you mean? That is so very interesting, to say the least. Jumping into this, Capricorn, I got to be real with this one. They're showing up very sharp, as is you, or as are you. Now, this energy of sharpness and edginess towards each other, it does make sense. At the same time, goodness gracious, whatever the situation, relationship, or dynamic is between the two of you, they are having a very unfortunate realization. It's kind of like, I don't know what is going on or taking place, but for some reason, excuse me, coffee. It almost seems and it feels like they're seeing the reality of the truth or the facts of the situation, the relationship as is. This is very unfortunate. This is very also strange. I'm going to say strange and interesting together because on one hand, they show up like, oh, I'm staying sharp. But it's almost like what they are realizing, they did not expect to realize. It's like, there it is. Surprise. It's almost like energetically surprise. And the way they respond to this is almost like that heart-sinking feeling of like, shit. Even though, energetically speaking, it's almost like eat your heart out. And this is what's very strange at the same time, is even though they're having this realization, it's also setting something straight between the two of you. It's almost like you didn't realize something, and now that you're realizing something, you're taking that to heart. So it's kind of like that armor or that cover, that defensiveness is beginning to fall off. But they're also realizing like, well, damn, it almost kind of, like I said, it sets the record straight. So what is this very painful and difficult realization? Because they're saying, I got nowhere to run, I got nowhere to hide, it is what it is. And that it's weird. It almost, like I said, it sets the record straight. Unfortunately, even though this energetically does show up ideal, they're responding to this in such a way where it's almost kind of like, you know, they're like mumbling something under their breath. They're like, me. And it's like, here we go, unhappy camper. I don't understand this. Because of what they're going through personally and mentally and emotionally, even though it's setting the record straight, it's like, you're the one that shows up. Here we go again, Capricorn, I'm getting invested. You're the one that shows up straight, cut forward, direct. But yet when you have that straight, cut forward, direct realization, it's almost like you can dish it out, but you can't take it. And so because they're realizing like, oh, you win some, you lose some, because they're realizing they have to take the L, they realize like, oh, now the situation, the circumstances aren't ideal, and now something needs to change. And this is what's very interesting, is they're even realizing this, and they're picking up the pieces. Like I said, it's an energetic, like eat your heart out. They're realizing something needs to change. And here's the interesting part. They're actually like, well, maybe I can go talk to Capricorn about this. They are opening up, expressing themselves, which is interesting, is when you mirror and match that energy at the start of this that they're showing up and presenting themselves in, when you match that energy, like I said, they're having the realization about the two of you. When you match that energy, all of a sudden, for some reason, they're doing it like with the understanding, with the neutrality, with like the intelligence and the perspective. They turn around and they do this. I'm going to do everything I possibly can within my ability or my power to emotionally disconnect. And it's like, damn. So you can dish it, but you can't take it. Okay, got it. So you can be that way, but when someone's that way with you or towards you, all of a sudden you're like, well, fuck this. I don't have anything for Capricorn. That's interesting. That's when that's when two stubborn people or two hard personalities bash heads or clash heads, and one person's like, well, damn, I guess I lost. And so the way they like almost like off they go with their tail between their legs, the way they deal with this is like, well, they still want to talk to you, Capricorn, and open up and feel like, have that exchange of emotions, but because you're still in that energy, they're like, well, then fine, then I'm just going to completely emotionally disconnect. You showed me at the start of this that you were cold and protecting yourself and no emotions were involved. But then they realized something, and look at this. There's the connection between the two of you. This is something very similar to what I gave Aquarius in Saturday's live stream with my wife and I. We gave Aquarius, and there's Aquarius. And who they were asking about or dealing with. It's interesting. It very is much so interesting. It's like the voice of reason and logic that they were like showing up and presenting themselves in. It's almost like because they got the voice, interesting. They're in that energy, that mindset. But because you match that energy, Capricorn, or we're in the mindset of like reason and logic, and they're kind of like, well, this is the connection, this is the relationship I have with Capricorn. I guess it is what it is. It's like, like I said, it's like this. They know they had to take the L. They know they had to walk away from this. That is so very interesting. And it's like, yeah, whatever, Capricorn. Yeah, whatever, Capricorn. And that's only because it's almost kind of like they're not wanting to admit that you were right. Go fucking figure. They don't want to admit that you're right. It's like, yeah, whatever. Yeah, whatever. And it's like, I mean, there's the lovers. Damn. They're like, well, we'll see. We'll see where this goes. We'll see if we still remain together. And it's like, so whoever this is that you're dealing with, Capricorn, they have a huge problem with admitting that they're wrong. I mean, look at this. It's like you're looking at each other like, the fuck? That's funny. And you, once again, you show up like, okay, well then let's fucking talk about it. They're realizing like, there's some problems and issues here. And so what's interesting is there's some problems and there's some issues here, but it's almost kind of like, for some reason, they're having to accept that they were wrong. Then I'll give them that, touche, you do. But you're also kind of throwing a tantrum and kind of fighting and squirming as you do it. Like, well, here we are. And it's kind of like they're realizing like, okay, fine. And it's like, okay, now you get it. Now you put the sword down. Now you stop fighting. Now you're kind of like, okay, fine. It's not about who's being right or who's smarter or whatever. They're realizing, shit, we got some problems and issues we need to take care of. It's like, yeah. And then when there's communication, all of a sudden you come around, Capricorn, all loving, caring, and understanding. And it's kind of that situation of you get what you give. If you're going to be cold and cut off with people, and if they get cold and cut off with you, don't be surprised. If you're being a certain way and it gets returned to you, don't be surprised. And unfortunately, that's what they're realizing. And I feel like they're realizing about themselves, because even though they're picking up those pieces, they're like, well, damn. But there's like still a little bit of fight left in them. That is so very interesting. You use your discernment and judgment though, Capricorn, because like I said, I don't know why they present this energy of I'm doing everything I possibly can to emotionally disconnect. And this is like a very, very choppy waters, if you'll say it that way. What do you mean you're trying to disconnect and almost like not see Capricorn as like smart, understanding, intelligent, neutral, logical, rational, like good head on your shoulders? And it's almost like they want to present themselves like, no. Okay, fine. I'll be this loving figure. I'll be this loving, caring, nurturing figure. But then they still have to make that conscious decision of, do I really want to dedicate or commit or devote myself to solving these issues with Capricorn? That's what I'm talking about. It's kind of like, do as I say and not as I do. For some reason, whatever they're getting ready to talk about. Like I said, you come around all loving and caring and nurturing. And like I said, it's that energy of you get what you give. They're realizing that. Yeah, there you go. There you go. It changed. Okay, so I don't understand that. They're very particular. They're very particular. There's communication, you're loving, you're understanding, you're open, you're receptive, Capricorn. But for some reason, when it's almost like this energy of like when you get fiery, it's like why do I get nagging energy? When you get fiery, I don't want to deal with you. And once again, like I said, there's that wall going back up. There's that stone wall going back up. I don't want to deal with it. But they're realizing like, yeah, it's almost like when you get fired up, and it's like when someone pushes your buttons and you respond or react the way you do, they can't fucking handle it. Once again, it goes back to that energy of like they can dish it out, but they can't take it. And what's interesting about this is they're realizing like, fine, I know. Let's just move forward and kind of put this behind us and make the best of it. And it's like, don't let anybody twist your arm. Don't let anybody twist your arm. Like I told Aquarius, don't let anybody twist your arm to be with you, Capricorn. If they're saying like, they're trying, what is this? This is like they do everything from the ivory tower because they're trying not to actually be emotionally affected by this. That is so very interesting. It's like the ball is in their court. They keep wanting to play, but then they keep losing. And then because they keep losing, it's almost like they're the ones tiring themselves out. And it's like, you done yet? It's like, more, press play to continue on to the next thing, or are you going to drop the ball and stop playing? Like, which one is it? I kind of feel like what they're saying over here is, fine, let's stop playing. And it's like, we'll see. We'll see if they mean it. Bye.